Welcome back to the channel. We are joined today by friend of the show, PJ Montano. PJ is an accomplished amateur wrestler, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and a catch wrestler under Erik Paulson. He's also an avid gardener, a youth wrestling coach, and a ref for high-level events like the PGF. True Renaissance man, PJ really embodies what it means to be a warrior in the garden. We hope you'll enjoy this conversation. All right, welcome back to the pod. I got PJ Montano here today. PJ, how you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm blessed. Yourself?
I'm doing great, brother. You just got back from training?
Yeah, dude. So like I already trained about oh God, about 2.5 hours. So like I woke up about 5, got to the gym, did my hour, did some rolling for about another hour, and yeah, man. It's just I don't know, it's a blessed morning. It's a blessed morning. It's slow morning. Got to wake up, do what I got to do, get home, get to talk to you.
Yeah,
And yeah, man. I'm blessed, like I
yeah.
said.
Not a bad life, dude. And yeah, just to kick us off, I remember when we first met, we're doing our introductions, and first thing you wanted to talk about was your instructors, right? Your lineage. That was
Oh, dude, yeah.
that was what was important, to you, for me to understand about you. So you just talk a little bit about that, your catch wrestling
Yeah, so
background, your
yeah,
jiu-jitsu background, all that.
yeah. So the philosophy behind it is you always beyond always first you give honor to your brother, and if it should be right for the universe to return it to you, it'll come back. But I everyone says, oh yeah, I'm self-made. I am semi self-made because of the stuff that I've done, but I couldn't have done it without my instructors.
Mm-hmm.
The way I look at jujitsu is it's a tree. A tree has its roots, and it's going to grow. Your technique's going to grow over time. It'll branch out to different schools, different people that you're going to see. Each leaf represents a different technique that you've taken from these people and made it your tree. But again, no matter how big, strong, spread out it gets, there's a root to it. And you have to honor your roots. That's
Mm-hmm.
just me. Loyalty is royalty to me. That's the way I see it. Um, Erik Paulson is he's like my second dad.
Yeah.
He's like my
Legend, legend of the
no,
sport too. Yeah.
yeah, and the way I found it, I found, and we're also under Higan Machado here. Our jujitsu's under Higan.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those situations with the way I found Erik Paulson was like I wrestled my whole life. I've been wrestling for like 30 plus years. I was an All-American for Greco. I got it. I went to Cal State Bakersfield. After Cal State Bakersfield, I came home from college wrestling and was like, I have nothing to do. I don't know what this is, like early 2000s, bro, like
Right.
2004. Like UFC was just kind of like really
Kicking
starting, but I was
off.
like, I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I want to do cage fighting, but like, cause I was going to school, or I just gotten done with school, came back, was like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm, trying to coach at a high school. I'm trying to do this. So I ended up coaching at like a high school for a little bit. And then ended up, one of my friends was like, hey man, you got to come check out this place. This guy named Erik Paulson. I'm like, who's Erik Paulson? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
being this 25-year-old naive, like, well, what's he gonna teach me? I've been wrestling with some of the best
Right.
people in the world. Yeah. Oh yeah, I found out, dog.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Found
I
out
bet you did.
real quick, real quick. Because Shuto is not something that you find around the corner. I mean,
No.
like a legit Japanese Shuto lineage. Like
Mm-hmm.
we go all the way back to Bill Riley, bro. Bill Riley, the founder of catch wrestling, and in Lancashire, England, wrestling pigs in his
Yeah.
back pen to practice.
Yeah, dude. Those are tough guys, right? Like those are just like
Oh,
coal miners just getting after it, taking on all comers, you know what I mean? Like I got a pound on my boy to take on
so
anybody.
Carl Gotch's rule for some of his like main competitors is he would give them like a small, like I think it was like 2 inches of sailor rope, and they had to unravel the sailor rope by the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now think of sailor rope and think about how fucking waxed out,
Yeah.
hardcore, tight. Like unravel that. Okay,
Yeah.
go for it, dog. Imagine just the you know what I mean? Like that's all I can describe. The like probably leaves bruises when it grabs you. You know what I mean? Like
That's
that
right.
kind of stuff. And but it was it's a very hardcore style. So like when I got to Eric's and I first started there, um I really didn't know much of. I mean, I had done judo and wrestling with my dad, and Kempo karate. I'm a third degree black belt in Kempo karate under Bob White and David Brock. And it's one of those situations where that's kind of like all I was really exposed to. Maybe a little bit of jujitsu and judo, but not a lot.
Hmm.
But it was like my true form, like exposure to holy shit, what is this?
Yeah.
So like I'm rolling and like, I'm beating up some of the newer guys because mind you,
Yeah.
I'm coming back from like college wrestling shape, bro.
That's
Like
right. Yeah.
I could grind,
Hmm.
okay? But I had never mixed martial arts with the wrestling, right? To different breathing, different
Hmm.
breath, right? Completely different breath. So like I'm moving around or whatever, and then like one of his guys stands and he'll always tell the story. I do a jump spinning back kick, right? Like jump spinning back kick, hit this guy in the chest, land, double leg him, throw him over, punch, 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 and arm bar the guy. And he goes, "What was that?"
Yeah.
And I
What
was
the
like,
hell?
"Oh, I was like, oh, coach, I know a little bit of karate." He's like, "Oh, really? Like, you like a black belt?" And I was like, "Yeah, yes, sir, Kempo karate." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Let's spar." And I was like, "All right, cool." Like, I don't know anything about Coach Erik Paulson at this point, and I just got my ass not even kicked, bro. Just like, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
do. Oh, shoot. Oh, take me down. Boom. Oh, heel hook me. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Heel hook me. Now, mind you, this is heel hooks in like 2005, bro. Okay,
Yeah.
all these people that are like K guard and inverted this and reverse. Get out of here. Like, just call it what it is, bro. And it's a straight ankle lock. It's a heel hook. It's an outside. It's an inverted leg. It's nothing. All these crazy things. He makes fun of it. He goes, it's so hard for me to keep up with these kids nowadays because they keep taking the same position and renaming it every 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just laughed,
No,
I
he
laugh
was
about
doing
it.
it. He was doing it before they were born. You know what I mean? Like he was doing
Bro,
this.
he was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So like, you got to
He's,
remember, 1980s Erik Paulson was a cat that was like all about the life. But the difference between the life then and now is now you can have keyboard samurai who know their shit, learn everything, can tell you everything, transfer. But some people watch a lot more than and then portray it into practice, or some just analyze it and then consider experts on transition because they can do that. You know what I mean? Back then you had to straight up like live this life. You know what I mean? You
mhm.
had to go somewhere and actually um, seek it out. So you have to remember, like, my coach was like in the rice paddies and jungles
Yeah,
of
dude.
Japan, learning like real lineage ninjutsu and shuto, like catch wrestling, grappling, that was just unheard of. Japanese, but to the Japanese, leg locks were just they've been learning that since the samurai era.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So that's like basics for them, like not even a question. So you go there and like I laugh because he tells a story about Henzo Gracie, right? He actually taught Henzo how to do
Mhm.
lay locks. No bullshit, no
Yeah,
bullshit on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Erik Paulson taught Henzo Gracie how to do leg locks because Henzo was going to Japan to fight, and Paulson was like, "Hey, dude, like if you go there, you better know this." And he's like,
Mm.
"What?" And then he taught him like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Bravo. There's a joke about Eddie Bravo telling a story on Joe Rogan where he's like, "Yeah, this badass blue belt Erik Paulson teaching me footlocks in the fucking parking lot of like the first Pan Am games." You know what I mean? And then he ended up hitting it and gotten like booed by like the Brazilians and stuff like that. Like, so it was I forget who I get to learn from. I really do. I forget how
Yeah.
spoiled I was. I forget how spoiled I am until we have like world conferences where people come from like Australia and Germany and Japan and China and Brazil and all over Europe, and then they come and they're like, "Oh, Coach Paulson," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's Coach."
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
him like three, 4 times a week. Like, what about it? Like, but at the same time, like, I go to circles where there's legends and they whisper his name.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where it's like, and I can honestly tell you, I've been with him for almost 24 years this year,
Yeah.
is how long I've been with Coach Erik Paulson doing catch wrestling and jujitsu under him. I wouldn't be anything without the guy.
Yeah.
He's literally like, there's a saying in Conan, you know what I mean? Like Thulsa Doom. I am the wellspring from which you flow. Well, no, I really am. Like I everything he's taught me, everything I do, it looks like a John Wick movie. All my kids make fun of it, and the kids, 20-year-olds in my
Yeah.
jujitsu gym, like I call them kids, but they're like, dude, some of the stuff's like John Wick when we do like our street fighting stuff, because it's mixed that. I'm a Kempo black belt that mixes
Yeah.
karate, judo, and jujitsu into a movement and functional movements. You know what I mean? So, but I've learned all that from Erik Paulson,
Yeah.
because even with his stand up, like think about his stand up lineage. His stand up lineage is true Jeet Kune Do that derives all the way back from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, Don and Santo, Erik Paulson.
Yeah.
Like, so my stand up my personal stand up derives from Bruce Lee as well. Bruce Lee, Don and Santo, Erik Paulson, PJ Montano. So like my lineage is, even with Higa Machado, goes all the way back to Count Coma. You know what I mean? So I have pedigree lineages that I can literally stand behind and prove, and not say anything else about it and be like, and
Yeah.
this is my lineage. What else do I need to say? And I'm still practicing. And like Coach Paulson always tells us, and he can always tell us, it's not so much about who's good, it's who's left at the end of it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's really, there's been a lot of good guys, a lot of comets, a lot of shooting stars. There's only a few left that are still active in the community. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. Like, people don't understand, like, um, you know, you merely adopted the darkness. I was born into this motherfucker. All right. Like, since I was born, I was on a mat. I was in a room learning how to punch, kick, throw, choke, just the way it was. Cause I'm Native American, you know what I mean? So I'm the eldest son. Like, my grandpa was actually a World War II veteran, golden shellback boxer and judo. He learned that for World War II. Came home, taught my dad boxing, judo. My dad learned boxing, judo, wrestling, karate. Taught me boxing, judo, wrestling, karate. I picked up all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I added sambo, I added Greco, I added freestyle, I added folk style, I added jujitsu, I added catch wrestling on top of all that other stuff. You know what I mean? So like, it's not a way of life for me, or it's not a lifestyle for me. It's a way of life. Like, this is Bushido. Like, my life is Bushido. Like, when we get done, I'm literally gonna go in my garden and I'm gonna plant all the succulents and the flowers that I bought yesterday. Like, it's the craziest duality for me that I always laugh about people, because in my real life I do surgery. Okay.
Right.
Like, I actually help run the training for fellows and PAs and FAs and surgical techs that come into our facility, and it's for oncology. So it's cancer. So like, I'm so fucked up from the other day. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but like,
No,
I'm
it's
also
it's
working. I'm
it's,
also no.
it's
I'm also
YouTube,
working on
brother.
that. Well, but I'm also working on that. That's my thing. Like, if I curse, I apologize to remind myself not to curse. That's my other problem, is I have
There you
a
go.
mouth, but because I'm just honest. Like, I'm not gonna BS you. You know what I mean? But the other day we went in to just do a routine checkup. Do some drainage. Found out the guy has full blown metastatic cancer.
Wow.
On accident, we found it. Look at a PET scan, all this stuff, and we're just like, we have to go tell his fucking family right now that this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, he came in for just a basic drainage, like because there was something going on. They couldn't figure it out, and they thought it was just like some fluid. Nah, no. It's like full blown cancer, bro. So like, I get to see the things you don't want to see in life, man. And I'm able to walk out of that room and still be able to do my life, my job, be a father, be a son, be a husband, be a coach. You know what I mean? Like, I am still able to do all that stuff. And honestly, jujitsu is my balance, bro. It's my therapy. Some people need a darker place.
Yeah.
Lifting weights and running on a treadmill isn't for everybody. Like, so some people need a darker place, you know what I mean? And before anything, like, I always give glory to God, because that's where my strength come from. I mean, honestly, some of the stuff that I see, it just, it it baffles me some days, like what I see, or like what I have to take out, or what I have to fix,
Yeah.
or what I have to, you know what I mean? Not what I have to, what I get to,
Sure.
Okay. Like God gave me a duality. I consider myself a paladin. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound conceited or anything, but
No,
I
no.
consider myself a paladin. I'm able to teach the arts of war and healing. So like, not everybody can do that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not that that's me tooting my own horn. It's just that there's a lot of other people like me that don't get the recognition. You wouldn't know, but there's a lot of females that are out there that do this stuff.
Yeah.
Especially for jujitsu right now, and on the forefront of healing. Like it's women dominated. Like jujitsu girls right now are on such a front, and I support the hell out of it because I have a daughter that's into this stuff too. You know what I mean? It's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing to see this art grow how it's growing right now because I've been here since the beginning. I was that kid that had to know where someone was holding something at a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club, and oh, okay, we're gonna go to that event because my dad knew somebody that knew someone that was hosting judo or wrestling or something, and you bought the 3 other videos.
All right, apologies for the technical difficulties, folks. I am back here with PJ Montano, and I had a question for PJ that I've been wanting to ask a lot of coaches. Right, like PJ, you were born and raised on the mat. You've been grappling your whole life. Like martial arts is just like second nature to you. But what do you do when someone comes into the room? Maybe they're 30 years old. They've been watching UFC. They've been exposed to the martial arts on YouTube. Maybe they want to give it a try, but they've got no background, no experience. How do you go about sort of like introducing them into the martial? Like, what are the skills you're trying to build in them day one?
Okay, so what I'll do, I actually, if someone new comes into a class that we've never done before, I will actually alter the class. I'll
Mm-hmm.
change the technique, like
Yeah.
on the spot. I'll change the technique to something just basic shit. Like I hate to say it like that, but uh, it's like we'll go over like, okay, bro, you're in a street fight, someone tackles you, boom, what do you do? Exactly, right? Like so, that's kind of where it's at. So what I do is I actually will go over just the basic, like push someone away and get away from someone, and a basic sweep, just
Mm-hmm.
to teach them like, look, like this is what you would do, just a basic one and a number one and a number two.
Yeah.
Just basic, basic, basic. Because you don't know anything, obviously. You're 30 years old, you haven't done anything, you never
Yeah.
trained, you've never done anything. I'm going to teach you something you've never seen before, which is just 2 basic things. Just get off of me, and I can't get you off of me, so I'm going to use your weight to flip you, and then get away. And then run out of here, what I mean?
Yeah.
And then get away from someone, that kind of thing. But also, what I also do is that when it comes to training, they roll with me only. They only roll with me. So during that training session, I won't roll with anybody else. I will
Yeah.
only roll with one of the students, with that new student, and then that last roll, the last match, I'll let them roll with somebody else that I trust
Mm-hmm.
within the school. Be like, hey, look, it's his first day. Don't be stupid. I'll just tell
Yeah.
them like,
Yeah.
don't be dumb.
Don't be
Don't be
dumb.
stupid. Don't break your toys. I always tell people, don't break your toys, because
Don't break your
then you don't
toys.
get to play with anything. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
get to play with yourself, not with anything. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it's really that aspect of like, I will show them. Literally, I will say like, I'll get him in my guard and be like, okay, pass my guard and choke me. Do everything in your power to do it. Go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't hurt them. I just no, no, no,
Yep.
no, no. Now they really like, they like throw everything at me, and then I'll go, okay, I'll feel it, and I'll go, okay, here it comes. All right, and whoop, sweep, boom. Dude, what the hell? Yep. Didn't we just go over that today? Yeah, that's what it would look like if it happened. So I'll actually hit them with the stuff I taught them in class. So
Oh,
they
that's cool.
understand like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like this works. Yeah, yeah. And you were doing everything you could to do what you were doing, right? To stop me, you used every ounce of your strength, right? Yep. Well, your strength doesn't mean anything in jiu-jitsu, because your strength can be easily turned against you real
Mm-hmm.
quick.
Yeah.
All I gotta do, I can feel you pulling this arm and pushing this arm. And I'm like, okay, so we're in a push-pull situation. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this arm, because I know you're gonna push down as hard as you can. Okay, hoop, hoop, there it is. Thank you. Take your arm back, choke, arm bar it, that kind of thing. So it's fun for me. I love the art of teaching.
Yeah.
Because of what I do in my real life with surgery, I'm a creature of habit. I'm a creature of study. So
Right.
like I love to study. I'm like anti-man cave and all about bringing back the study. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
all about bringing back the study. A nice place to sit where I can read some, extensive volumes, limited edition kind of shit. Like
Sure.
that's
Sure.
me.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like I'm a warrior poet, bro. I'm a warrior poet. I love to
Mm-hmm.
read. So it's one of those situations where but I also teach my fighters philosophy. Like I teach them look, like you got to know the difference between the mentality of approaching life like a battle and then approaching competition. That's completely different. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's still the same, because like outside, like you got to conduct yourself. It's a war outside.
Yeah.
Whether it be spiritually, physically, or literally, whatever it might be, wherever you are, at that particular time in your life. Um, it's a place that like I always say, warriors guard. I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
that's why,
sure.
like I said, that's why I like my school is called Warriors Guard Jiu-Jitsu, because I garden too. I love to garden. I love gardening. I love flowers. I love putting plants in the ground. I love having trees. I literally try to make my house look like Jumanji, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I want it to be like vines everywhere. Like I want to come home and, again, I'm very strong in my faith. So like, the reason why I'm so adamant about garden is, that's the last place my Lord and Savior Jesus spent. He spent his last few hours in the garden. And so that's why I make it such a, not a, what is it? It's not a literal aspect of like where I'm referring to that, but it is that literal aspect that I am referring to at the same time, because that's what I see it. That's how I find my peace. That's where I find my peace, is in a garden. That's
Yeah.
just who I am. And like I said, I have to teach them this philosophy of like, you have to be a steel rose. You know what I mean? You have to be delicate, but you also have to be moldable and unbreakable at the same time, because you have to be able to do those things in life, not just on the mat. You have to be able to mold yourself to areas that you're in. You do have to be strong and stand your ground quite a bit. And you do have to be delicate around the ones that you love, because you can't let that flash out on you. Because if you do, it'll burn you. You know what I mean? And I'm not a saint.
Mm-hmm.
I've made mistakes in my life. I've learned from things that I've done. Again, I'm not a saint, but I'm a sinner, and I know I am, and I'm just doing the best I can, man, to be the best possible human being that I can. Because that's just how I was raised. I was raised, real people show up, real people check in on people, real people pick up the phone and call. Nowadays anybody can text and write somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about picking up the phone and calling you.
That's right.
And that's something that I try to teach these guys too, is that, you know, you have to portray. I'm not just trying to make you like one of my good friends, Orlando Sanchez, rest in peace. He used to always have this saying about being a champion in life, not just on the mats. And that's what I'm also trying to pay forward to, is teaching these kids and these students to be champions in life, not just champions in sport. And at Warriors Guard Jiu-Jitsu, that's like my philosophy.
Yeah.
Again, I've had this mantra, I think I was telling you about last time, where it's just been like, I was like, we were talking earlier, and I was like, oh man, I woke up, I had to train, I got to do this. But like, how blessed am I? Like, the mantra is, how blessed am I to grow weary in the pursuits of the things that I love? Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing the things I love. What am I complaining about? Like, really, I have to catch myself, because it's busy. Okay, great. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't doing shit with their life, and you've got 3 or 4 different things you can do
Yeah.
and get to do, because I grind. I don't do well with sitting by myself unless it's with a book. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's with a book, like this is the only time I'm sitting by myself, really. And so I try to teach these people that, you have to be able to balance the sword. You have to be humble, but be able to know when you have to pull it out. And
Yeah.
and and it's not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to pull it out and use it. You can pull it out. You can parry glance, take it away from them and be like, dude, chill out, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to hurt people. Now, the name of the game and competition is different, because that's the philosophy of war. Like, it's me or you. And if you could do it to me, you would. So I'm gonna do it first. Sorry, not sorry. Like, as
Yeah.
my students would say, if you were like, "What does your coach say about competition?" They'd be like, "Oh, he says fuck their couch." You know what I mean? Like, that's just
Yeah.
it's a saying that I have. Again, apologize for saying the F word, but that's the that's my saying, because I'm like, no, I don't care, because if you had my leg like that, you would rip it. So I'm gonna rip it, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
rip it first. You
But
know what I
it's
mean?
so
Like, you have.
yeah.
And
It,
that's the catch wrestling mentality in me. So like,
yeah.
and when you want to break down, philosophy, right, between catch wrestling and jiu-jitsu, I also have to teach these these people coming in that they're learning catch wrestling. They're not learning no-gi jujitsu for me. For me, you're not learning no-gi jujitsu for me. You're learning true lineage catch wrestling, as we were talking about earlier, right? Like, and it's not for everyone. Um, Catch wrestling is not for everyone because catch wrestling, the difference is like, you know, um, jujitsu is that stone that's rolling, that slowly just keeps rolling and is smoothly rolling in that nice groove, finds its groove and its flow. That's jujitsu.
Yeah.
But it's still a grind, right? It's still gonna
Yeah.
grind. Somebody's still gonna beat something up. Well, catch wrestling's that boulder that fell down the fucking hill and hit everything on the way down, and then still somehow like burrowed its way into the mountain. That's the difference of the styles. They're
Yeah.
still rolling. They're still rolling. It's just catch wrestling's like the motto should tell you everything about it. Whereas jujitsu's position before submission.
Yeah.
Catch wrestling is rip, crank, tear by any means
Yeah.
necessary. Every piece of the body is a submission waiting to happen.
Yeah. Catch as
That's
catch
a lot.
can. Yeah.
Catch can, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I see something. Rah! I
Yeah.
see that. Rah! Like rah! So it's one of those things like where if you went like okay, so one of my blue belts, right? My blue belts know stuff that like brown and black belts know as far as leg transfers are concerned. Because I was always taught in catch wrestling that a straight knee bar and a straight ankle lock should be the first thing you know how to do
Mm-hmm.
before passing the guard. Like passing the guard is great, but like your leg's right there. Why can't I just break it?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like your foot's right there. Why do I need to pass it?
Yeah.
Why don't I just step on your thigh, lift it up, Boston crab? Oh, you go there, grab your thigh, step over, and hip lock you. Like, why don't I just do that?
Yeah.
Like that seems a little easier than putting all that energy out. But again, difference between catch. So that's what I teach my blue belt. So like one went to a gym the other day, and cast slashed the brown belt, and the brown belt got really, really, really mad at him. But I was like, because I guess they don't train like leg locks where they're at. I guess I don't know, or because it's a gi place. And he calf slashed him in the nogi area and got kind of talked to, and he was like, "Was I wrong?" I was like, "No, you weren't wrong." Um, I was like, "But if you're visiting a gym, again, this is teaching moments, right? Well, if you're visiting in a gym, it's good to show them you know stuff, but like you also kind of have to be in the aspect of respect where you are the visitor. You don't want to
Yeah.
go in there and just like beat people up, or if you can, great, but that's not what you're there to do. You're there to train and hang out and learn to meet people and learn how to like coerce. Like if you start rolling with someone the first time you slap a heel hook on them and rah, they're gonna be like, okay, now you got a target on your back, bro. Now everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
that guy's heel hooking people. Okay, we're gonna go after that. Oh, the guy calf sliced at our brown belt. Okay, we're gonna come after you. I was like, how were your rolls after that? He's like, they were tough. I was like, yeah, I bet.
I
I'll
bet they
kick
were
your ass
tough.
after
Yeah. I
that.
bet.
I kick your ass after that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Wow.
kick your
This
ass kicked
gym
after
goes
that, bro.
super hard.
Woo! I was like, yeah, I bet they're whooping your ass after that because they didn't expect you to know that,
Hmm.
right? I'm also no, you weren't wrong because you did catch him slipping, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's not what you do as a visitor.
Yeah.
Cool. You go, oh, I almost got it. You get it for your own mind saying, oh, I got this, and then you let it the fuck go. Because now that brown belt's gonna whoop your ass for the next like 10 minutes. Like, whoop your ass, which I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he did. He's like, yeah, he did. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Did you? And I was like looking around him, did you split your lip? Or he's like, oh, I got like a little bit of like a road rash. Yeah, I bet. Probably put your knee on your face. I would. I would. You know what I mean? I would.
Yeah.
I'd let you know real quick. Okay, cool. We're playing like that. Okay, prison rules. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Because that's catch wrestling. Like, so I have a funny story about that. We talk about catch wrestling, right? So one
Hmm.
of my great friends, Chris Croissant, he was the catch wrestling champion in the UK for like 3 years in a row, right? Chris Croissant's like I can't something crippler. I can't remember. It's like the Lancashire Crippler, Stockland Crippler, or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Stockholm Crippler or something.
He's a crippler.
Um, yeah, he's a crippler. That's his name. I know.
Yeah.
But so like I'm rolling with him, right? Like he comes to visit at this world conference, and we're like rolling. And he's like, oh, so are you doing prison rules? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, bro. Like you're the champ. Like
Yeah.
I just get to roll with you. Cool. So like he rolls and he steps up and I hooked his like I grabbed like a toe and like this as he stood up, I was like, oh, I'm gonna roll over. And like, mind you, like this is prison rules, okay? So we're talking prison rules. So I'm like this, and I'm like fully wide open. And he palms me in the kidney. And I'm like, ugh. And then he fucking takes my arm and rips it off. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? He's like, bro, you said it was, the competition, prison rules, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I forgot. Sorry. Like, but those are the type of people you run into when you're doing catch wrestling. And you have
Oh
to
yeah.
realize that
They're out there.
those are, they're out there. And you
Mhm.
realize that, like, thank you. I'll remember next time if I turn not to extend my arm like that because you're going to pop me in my kidney. So, okay, cool. Good to know. Next time, tuck.
Yeah.
Put my elbow at least. So if he punched, and then sure enough, next time, I just tucked my elbow and he's like hit my arm. And I was like, like, again, you roll with, again, at Erik Paulson's gym, I rolled with champions, dude. Like, champions. I was with Josh Barnett,
Yeah.
Babalu
Legend.
Sobral, Satoru Ishii. Kendall Grove was coming in there. Michael Bisping was coming in there. Sean Shirk came in there a couple times. There was, like, just been legends coming in and out of there, like left and right. And I just have been around to see it all. Ben Jones was one of the major coaches for catch wrestling there for the longest time, a competitor as well. Now, like Victor Henry, all those guys that are now doing like the circuits in Japan, like all those guys like came from catch wrestling at CSW. And then, like I said, Josh branched off, did his own thing, and Paulson's still doing his thing. So I mean, like I said, people move on and they grow and they branch out, like I was talking about with our tree, right?
Yeah.
And, I just got the okay from Coach Paulson about 2 years ago to do my own thing at Warriors Garden. And it's probably one of the biggest blessings of my life, man. Like, I
Yeah.
have grown so much as an individual, and I've matured as a coach. So, like, as coach says, he's like, oh, you're in your sensei era. And I was like, my sensei, what I mean? Like sensei AI, right? Like
That's
sensei
right.
AI.
Yeah.
I'm in my sensei era, bro. I'm in this point where I've been training my entire life. And I still got one fight. I haven't bowed my belt out. I keep telling people I have one fight left.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
bowed out. And right time, right pace, right price, right situation, one more. I got one more.
Okay.
One more. And we'll see when that's going to happen. But it'll all, the universe knows. I'll know. You know what I mean? I'll know when it's right. And yeah, that's about it, man. Like, I love what I do. I heal during the days that I don't train. Even then, I'm still up in the morning lifting weights, or doing some kind of cardio or stretching. The next thing is, the days that I'm there, I'm training and teaching as well. Like, I'm very blessed. Like, I have a woman that loves me. I have children that love me. I have a house over my head, food to eat, water to drink, and clothes to wear. And a coat if I'm cold.
Yeah.
I've got everything I need in life. There's not really much else I want to do. Maybe travel, and really what I want to do, I think this year is do seminars and do some podcasts, because I don't really talk much. Like,
Yeah.
for me, it's more so like, who the hell wants to listen to me? Who wants to listen to me talk? I mean, but then again, like,
A lot of people, bro.
people do ask me.
You've got such
Well,
a wealth of experience, man. Like,
well,
seriously.
it's just, but I'm humble about it. I'm not like, oh yeah, hey, look at me. Funny enough, my student last night was like, dude, you can't even compliment this guy. I was like, what are you talking about?
Mhm.
He's like, you're a badass, coach. And I was like, I just know some stuff, man. Like, a little bit more. I always say I know more than most, but still less than a lot of people. All right,
Mhm.
that's the best way I could say it.
Yeah.
You see, you can't even say thank you. I was like, I don't. What do I? You're stating that I'm knowing things. Yeah, I know things. All right, cool. I know things. Cool. Just let's get to practice. Keep drilling. That kind of way.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about that? Keep drilling. You know, but I'm very private, because I don't, like, again, like, because again, I don't know. I just don't talk unless you meet me. Like, then I'm chit chatty about whatever you want to talk about.
Sure.
But I don't go and seek a conversation, because I'm usually, if you see me somewhere, I'm usually reffing. I'm usually reffing or doing something like that with, Subversive or ADCC or PGF, you know, or we have Wild Style, and then we had the Professor Ultrazoid the other day. That was fucking insane. Or I'm doing MMA with, Camo and CSAC, inspecting and, getting things done like that. I just, last year I went under Herb. just been blessed, man. I'm very blessed to do this life, and I wouldn't change it for anything else because, again, as I was saying, I'm a creature of study. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And refing is it's the purest form of study because, like, especially PGF, bro. Like, subversive and PGF are some of the greatest study tools for me because those events are some of the best in the game. Literally they're going full speed at full ferocity with full savagery at maximum amount of effort, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I can see these movements playing. I'm at a point now with reffing where, like, someone does something and I've already seen so many elite athletes do remove, like, reaction to reaction to reaction. There's some people that see me reffing and I'm like watching and I'll go, and I'll shift myself to that position, and they'll just go do, 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 boom, and land right in front of me because I've already seen the transition play out in my mind because
Mm-hmm.
I'm reffing so much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I'm blessed, bro. Like, fucking hey, like, I love my family and I love spending time with my kids, and but my kids are at a point where we've watched the same movies probably 1,000 times. So we're probably just gonna watch those same movies. And I'm blessed to have a wife that lets me do the things that I love. She always supports me in doing these things. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to a fight. And, I guess that makes a little extra cash for the family and, take her to dinner and, buy her some
Yeah.
flowers and stuff like that. But, it's one of those things for me where also it's a way for me to study. It's a way for me to evolve my game. It's a way for me to go, oh, hey, take this back to, oh, hey, I've never seen that shit before. All right, I'm going to take that back to the lab and play with it. Okay. All right. And then I'll teach it to my students. Hey, I saw this the other day, at PGF. I saw this at Subversive the other day. Check this out, guys. Da, 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 da. And I show them, what I'm doing or what I saw. And then when they do it, I'm like, nope, don't do that bullshit. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
You have to do it like this.
Yeah.
If you don't do it like this, if you don't do it like this, homeboy the other day at PGF did it like this, and then he got stuck with a heel hook on the outside. But the day before, the other guy did it like that and ended it with a knee bar. So you have to do it that way if you want the knee bar. If not, you're screwed. So do it that way. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, coach. Yeah, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just letting you know. If you don't do it, you're gonna be in a game. You're gonna be in a match. Oh, I went for it, coach. Oh, that shit doesn't work. Oh, well, did you do it with your knee across or did you put your shin in? Oh, my shin was in. Well, your knee has to be across.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't work.
No, I think it's great, man. Like you
You
have
know?
that whole Warriors Garden thing, right? It's like, yeah, you teach them to like be efficient. You teach people like this sort of peaceful, technique way. But like, there's this other side of it, man. That is like the savagery that people have to be aware. Like that you got to be aware, man. Like when you step out on a PGF mat, on an ADCC mat, like these guys are killers, dude. And if you are lackadaisical, if you're going with the flow, that flow's gonna rip your arm off. Like
Yeah, you cannot.
like there's a time and place for being flowy, and there's a time and place for being that animal savage.
There's a difference between a wave and a tidal wave. Okay, so, like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference. There's a difference, and that's
Yeah.
the difference. And and that's why I always say, with the Warrior's Garden, I have it on my hand. Is we're the rose that grew from the anvil through the fires of adversity. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because you know it's just one of those things that even in adversity, there's beauty. You just have to look for it,
That's right.
and you just have to look for it. I mean, you just have to look for it. But so many people get closed-minded to the aspect of, oh, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. How about instead of I'm a victim, who can I help in the same situation?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? How about
Yeah.
think that? How about who can I help in the same situation I'm dealing with? That'll rezone shit. And the only reason why, again, because of what I deal with at the hospital, I gotta go out. I gotta go out with a doctor and tell them that you're gonna die, or that you're gonna live, or you're gonna have to have chemo, or that you don't need any more treatments, or that everything's okay, or everything's bad, or your life's changing forever, or we don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
I gotta be there for those conversations, man. And that some days can really weigh on you.
Yeah.
And it's a situation, like I said, again, that's why I have jujitsu, or I have to teach, or I have to roll, or I have the gym, or I have prayer, most of all. And I'm able to channel that out of me because people that don't do that usually turn to alcohol or drugs or some kind of shit like
Sure.
that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And and
Somewhere.
and and you go somewhere. You go somewhere. I mean, not that I'm a saint or anything, but like it is that situation. Like I don't have that in my life, and I've never really had that in my life. So, it's I'm just blessed. I'm very, very blessed to live the life that I'm living, and especially now, with Sensei AI, man. Like what you guys are doing, bro, is like it's like what you're creating with your situation is like my childhood question answered. So it's like,
Yes.
how the hell would someone catalog every single little thing and movement and this and that, right? Like, how would you do that? So, like, again, I'm just as a child, I've thought about that ever since I learned what a computer was, right?
Yeah.
So now, being that what I've done and seeing what I've seen and transferring it, all the experience and da 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 da. Now we're here, right? Now we're at this new pond lake in the mountain that I'm like, dude, how deep does this shit go? Because that looks pretty deep, like that's
Yeah.
how I'm looking at it, right?
Yeah.
Because
It never
again,
ends.
what most people don't understand. Okay, so like most people think very linear. Okay, you think everyone thinks on an XY axis, right?
Hmm.
Everyone thinks about that. But when you take that XY axis and then you spin it, you've got a 360-degree sphere, right? Now you turn it this way, and you've got another 360-degree sphere. So what you guys have created that's different than that's completely different and unique than any other platform out there is the fact that you've atomized a movement, meaning that like when you look at like superhero movies and shit, you see that little nucleus, right? You see
Yeah. Yeah.
all the different angles. Well, that's what you've created. You can now document a movement and be able to someone does a move where it's like this. Okay, now we've got that move. Someone did a move like this. Now we've got that move. Someone did a move like this. Someone did a move like this. Someone did a move like that. Now like this, like you know what I mean. And you're documenting all of those movements and creating one spherical view of it to
Yeah.
where if anybody has a question about any possible position, you have you know I don't know that when you do the math on the axis, it's like 412, it's like 64 angles of movement just off of
Hmm.
one technique.
Yeah.
Off of one technique. Now invert it. Now you've got 128.
Right.
You guys, at like Sensei AI is something that I'm super passionate about because of that. Because 128 degrees of movement that I can go and play with just off of one technique, like
Yeah.
talk about study. You know what I mean? Talk about like real in-depth study. And then to actually have examples of live action and live movement with those techniques, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you're cataloging that. It's something that no one else is doing. No one
Yeah.
else is doing that. You know what I mean? So it's something that I have to get behind because again, like I said, it's something again, as you saw in my story, I've been doing this since I was freaking 6 years old, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm 43. I don't look 43 years old, but I'm 43 years old. I've been doing this shit my whole fucking life. So like seeing this again, apologize for cussing,
No
but
worries.
I saw that I've seen what you guys are doing. I've been playing with the app and I'm looking at it, I'm asking it questions. And there are questions that an advanced grappler asks that I'm still trying to tweak about and find out about
Hmm.
because some questions are so detailed that you have to actually like see something like that to give an example or an answer of, or give
Yeah.
three pearls of wisdom, right? Like,
Hmm.
so, and that's the thing that I love about it. It's not just, it doesn't give you one.
Yeah.
You got three choices. You got three pearls of wisdom.
Yeah.
You do this, person does that, you go do this. Person does this, you do that. Person does this, you do that. One, two,
Yeah.
three. You
And
know what
we're
I mean?
so we're
And
so excited to like build the future of like what you're saying, the full interactive view of how techniques and things fit together. We've got a great UX UI designer, and we're working with like great minds like yourself to be able to just put it into the neatest, most useful like package possible for people to explore and get
100%.
and distill the wisdom, and in a way that they can explore too.
Exactly.
They're not just sitting there passively being, which is, don't get me wrong, instructionals are great. Studying that way is awesome, but it's like you're not just sitting there absorbing what someone else is trying to instill in you. You get to explore it on your terms and see how everything fits together.
Yeah, exactly. See, and that's what I'm saying is like, the way I look at this, right, is, you know, one thing, I got a hold of my grandpa. This is a personal story.
Mm.
Got a hold of my grandpa's journal the other day, right? And it was like reading through it, and his biggest thing was that he never cataloged any of the techniques
Yeah.
that he taught us that I could teach my kids and my grandkids, right? He never cataloged it. So the reason why I'm involved with Sensei AI the way I am is because this is my opportunity to give my grandchildren and my great grandchildren my techniques, my style,
Yeah.
my aspect and my philosophy behind these movements. So when people use this app, I want them to really think about the aspect of it. It's like asking your dad
Yeah.
it's like asking your dad a question. It's like
Mm-hmm.
asking your grandpa a question,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm treating it like that as a student of the game for as long as I have been, and now as an instructor and as a sensei in the game, teacher in the game, and a someone in authority that's reft and that has the experience to speak about competition the way that I do. Um, I can answer your question as thoroughly and as genuine and as honest as it will be. My dad had a saying that always he always used to throw at me is he's I was never a baker, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anybody. I can
I
just tell
like
you this is
that.
what yeah,
Yeah.
this is what it's going to be,
Not a
and
pastry
this is
chef,
how it
brother.
is. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a pastry chef, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, dog. I'm just going to
uh,
give it to you plain base. This is what it is. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. And this is what they're going to do. If they do this, do that. If they do this, do that. If they do this, do that. Okay, they did that. Okay, so now you do this. Good. Now, what did they do after that? This, and this. Okay, so if they do this, you do that. If you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but I've done it enough to where I've coached colleges, I've coached high schools, I've coached kids, I've coached professional fighters, I've coached amateur fighters. I'm running my own spot now with UFC Garden Walk and Warriors Garden Jiu-Jitsu. So it's like I know I know how to relate things back to people in a way you can truly study them because of how much studying I'm forced and allowed to do in my real life, both in the book and both book work and physical work. So it's one of those situations where I have a lot of knowledge that I want to share with the world, and especially because it's so again, catch wrestling and shuto is very hard to come by, especially true lineages.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't really know or see or have applied to the game that I truly think the game needs to know. And you never want to keep secrets, because the secrets of technique, they don't benefit anybody else except for yourself. And if you leave without teaching, you know, um, those secrets, like what is it? Like ultimately you want your competitors to be the strongest. You want your opponents to be the absolute best peak of condition, because there's no boast in an easy victory. And even if you do get a quick victory, even better. But that's against somebody that you know is an actual beast. There's the jiu-jitsu game and the grappling game's an ocean, man. And you got to realize the deeper you go, there's sea monsters down there.
Oh yeah.
And you got to realize that. And when you scuba dive, you might not, very rare do you ever see one, but you might see one day.
You
And
might
when you
see one.
do, you're gonna find out real quick the difference between dark waters and the
Yeah.
ocean. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like it's way different. It's way different. And again, like going back to Sensei AI, it's just something that it has so much knowledge. It's like and then the potential of growing the way that it is and the way that it can is already there. It's just like it's just an absolute aspect of where it's going to constantly evolve into something better, just like jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu is a constant evolution. It's never something that just stays stagnant or the same thing. Someone's always doing something different, or always trying to create something or alter something or invert something, or it's just anything in life, if it's not evolving, it's going to eventually die. And that's
Yeah.
exactly why jiu-jitsu is still around. Like, people think the samurai are dead. No, they're not. We're right here.
Yeah.
We're right here.
Mhm.
We're just dressed different now.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, some people are about the life cycle, but people like me, the instructors, it's a way of life for us. There's daily things that we do to prepare us to be ready for jujitsu or be ready to teach. Or,
Yeah.
you know, because I always tell students and people that I teach, or the people that I work with, that I will never ask you to do something I physically cannot do myself. If I
Yeah.
cannot physically do it, I will not ask you to do it, because who am I to tell you to do something I can't?
Yeah.
You know, and if it's something I can't do, I'm gonna figure out how to do it, or I'm gonna look into it and be like, oh, I've never seen that before. Let me see, let me do my research. You know, and those are the days where I actually will go back to Coach Paulson and I'll ask him, hey man, like I saw this, like, is there something here? Oh, and then he's oh yeah, this, and this. And then if he goes there, then you go here, and then you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Go back to one. Hold on. Okay, one. Move your leg. Okay, what was the other one? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of like he's like that, dude. Or
Yeah.
like my favorite thing was hold on, he has this thing. He'd be like this because his back was all messed up, right? So he'd be like, come practice, he'd be like, hey guys, all right. So we're gonna do this, and this. Watching the UFC fight. So hey, I want you to come here and do that. All right, we're gonna go here. All right, cool, do it. And you're like, wait, what the fuck did you just do? And he's like, just like that. I'm like, yeah, you just stepped over his leg. Well, yeah, why wouldn't I? I know, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like, it's stuff that it's stupid little, like, playground shit. But it works, dude. And it's not anything. Again, that's the difference between catch wrestling. It's logical. It's like, oh, your foot's there. Well, I'm gonna step on it, let go of it, and when it springs up, catch it and rip it off. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Well, yeah. You just have to do it and play with it to find out. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, coach. You know,
Yeah.
like it's again. I'm always in the lab. I'm always playing. I'm always teaching. I'm always doing something, man. So you know, with like I said, the refing aspect is just. I really do believe like to be a really good ref, you really got to get the experience. You have to be a competitor first. You have
Yes.
to you have to be able to teach. You have to be able to do things because you also have to know the thresholds of these guys. You know what I mean? Like there's like everyone knows me. Like I'm very because of what I do. I'm very hardcore. So I'm like, you want to go to sleep? Go to sleep. I don't care. You want to break your arm? Break your fucking arm. It's not
Yeah.
my arm.
I'll fix it when we're
Okay,
done. Yeah.
I'll let yeah. I got a great reference. I got a great reference. I can send great ortho doc. I can send you to. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, who am I to stop you? If you want to go out on your shield, I will let you go out on your fucking shield, bro. I will let you go home or home or on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the thing is some of these guys or most of them are willing to do that shit.
I
Like
know. It's
break it,
crazy
fucking
watching these
break
events
my.
live. Yeah.
There's times where I'm watching things and I'm like, oh, it's gonna break. Crack, crack. Oh my god, bro. Homie, just let him break his gosh damn leg. Would you tap already, please? Because I'm not gonna stop it. You didn't tap.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop, tap. Okay, stop. I'm like, son of a like I've heard like they had one where Davis Asari, right? He got caught by Ryan Aiken, and Ryan Aiken put him in a heel hook. And it sounded like a tree cracking in the forest. And I'm like standing right there, like, mind you, I keep a very straight face, like, because I'm trying to keep it professional. And even in the video, I'm like, mm,
Ooh, yeah.
I'm like, when I go back to being professional, but it made me like, ooh, fun. And then like I saw the video and I was like, oh my God. Like it's insane. It's just again, people at this level, you have to remember at the PGF are the top dogs, bro. And not even dogs. These are wolves, bro. These guys are the
Yeah.
guys that were in the dark cave for the last 6 months, just not eating shit except for like half-ass rabbit, right? Now they're out in now they're in the banquet table and they got roasted boar, steer, and everything in front of them. They're about to eat. They're about to fucking eat, doggy. Like
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it. And everybody knows that PGF is I'm like the human shield, right? Like I'm the one that jumps in front and blocks people from going into the thing. That's what I'm there to do. And it's not like, and people are like, oh yeah, we jump from. Yeah, dude. Like I don't want a competitor getting hurt because I decided to just watch them fucking slam into a wall or through a couch. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my body in the way. I'm gonna push them back in the ring, or I'm gonna stop them, tell them to stop, reset them where they were at. You know, if they're middle of attack, just keep fucking fighting. They ain't no, sorry again for that, but you know, keep fighting. And if not, you know, like there's no escape. And they'll hear me say that at the PGF. There's no escape here. Keep fighting. You're in a lock. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
You're stuck. I will keep my body here and block you from running away.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
No, but
Figure it out.
I love the
You know,
PGF
and
rule set.
So and it's, you know, like working with Drew and Heath, dude, and Jacob, bro, like I got some of the best jiu-jitsu minds, like as far as like, I'm sorry, Drew Murillo is one of the best judges in the fucking game. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss, but again, that's what I mean by it. Like Drew is one of the best, like, you know, knowledgeable aspects of judging jiu-jitsu that I know. If I have a question, I'm calling him. Does that make sense? Like that's how good, how reputable Drew Murillo is. Heath is one of the most technical, like I call Heath is like a tome of jiu-jitsu knowledge. Okay, he's not just a book.
Yeah.
Heath is like a tome of jiu-jitsu knowledge. He knows, and you ask him a question, he will tell you everything down to the fucking like sentence.
Yeah.
You know, he's that knowledgeable about jiu-jitsu. So I get to work with those two. And then Jacob's kind of a mix of Drew and Heath. He can do both, bro. And, you know, all of us can do that job, but I like to ref. I just like to be in the shit. That's just me. I like to be in the heat of the battle, scrapping, blocking them, getting in there, watching them, doing the technique. Again, for me, it's study. So I'm loving that. But I'm out there putting my body in the way because I was a competitor that no one stopped me, and I ended up cracking my elbow a little bit because I fell on the cement. So, and I couldn't roll for like 2 months because I had let my arm heal because someone didn't block me from falling on the cement. So when I see things like that and people are going, like, for instance, me, PJ Barch, and Andy Varela went over the top of a freaking couch. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why, oh, he was just jumping on. No, I was trying to hold him because I know behind that couch is a flat cement floor. And if both of you top dogs go over and crack your heads on the cement because I let you guys do that, that's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me. My job is to keep you guys safe. So I grabbed Andy, and then him and PJ both jumped over a couch with me, like dragging me behind them. You know what I mean? Like, but that's because I'm about that life. I'm about putting myself in the way. That's why I signed up to do this job for Brandon and them at the PGF, because I am that guy. I will put my body on the line. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of a little contact. Oh, all right, I got to stop a little bit. It's part of the game, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
At least I feel part of it now. Let's go. Move. Keep fighting. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But most people won't do that. Most people won't do that. Most people, not that that's anything bad about them or makes them less of a referee. It's just me. I'm just about that fucking, I just got that dog, dude.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And it's part of the game, dude. Like you said, like, so something Ryan like instills in, like, our coach Ryan Hall instills in us, and it's like, guys, when you guys, this is a contact sport. When you guys bonk each other, like, no, I'm sorry, like, blah, blah, like, obviously, don't hurt somebody. He's like, no, dude, you got bonk, you good? Let's go. We're not like, it happens. Don't have an attitude about it if someone bonks you, and if you bonk someone, like, keep it pushing, bro. Like, it's whatever. We signed up for this.
So, you know, but sadly, you know, that's the other thing about jiu-jitsu, right? Brotherhoods, right? Brotherhoods. And, you know, sadly I lost, this last year, Caesar. I lost him to, he shot himself. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but like, he was like my training partner for like 22 years, dude. Like, you got to remember, like, when you talk about that, we were just talking about getting slammed around. He's that guy. Like, ever since that moment, like, I knew training would be different. You know, the only ones that are still around are like Brian, Troy, and Steven. Those are like it from the beginning of our gym. That's it. He was one of the original crews, you know, and, well, Alex is still around, I think, but I haven't seen him in a long time. But, you know, he was that guy, like you said, like, when you were if I was getting ready for a fight, like, or a match, like, we're going to go, because if I headbutt you, you're going to headbutt me right back. If I forearm you, you're going to fucking forearm me right back.
Yeah.
If I push you, you're going to push me right back. If I hit you, you're going to hit me right back. Like that guy, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody needs that, you know what I mean? Because again, like I was telling the students, like you have to realize that this game isn't that. Our game isn't, it's not tennis, it's not football, it's not
Nope.
soccer, it's not volleyball or water polo. It's combat. The ultimate aspect of the game is who can kill who quicker. That's the game.
Yes. Yep.
And
Straight
that's
up.
the game. Who can kill who quicker? And if you don't know that, then you should. You know, have you ever watched cats, like predator cats, fight? They grapple until someone pins someone. It's game over because I grabbed you by the throat. All right, cool. Next one. You know, that's what this is. It's predators fighting.
Yeah.
They're predators fighting each other for the prize, whatever the prize might be. And you know, coming up, you know, in March and in April with PGF, bro, like I've seen a few of these seasons and it is gnarly.
It is.
It
Yeah.
is gnarly, bro. Like these guys come for blood. This is blood in the water.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sharks are already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are like the sea monsters are coming up. The sharks are just there to watch. That's literally what's happening. These
Yeah.
are the sharks. The sharks have been there. They're watching the sea monsters fight.
Yeah.
So that's what this is. So
It
it's
is.
it's gonna be awesome, man. And like I said, to be a part of the SensAI crew, man, like fucking again, that's a dream of mine, a childhood dream of mine manifested into reality.
Yeah, I
And
did.
now, like I said, my mission for SensAI is to make it to when you open this app that it feels like you're talking to a big brother, or it feels like you're talking to a dad or a sensei,
Yeah.
or like you're feeling like you're talking to grandpa, Obi-Wan, whatever you want to consider it. You know what I mean? Like that's what you come here for. You come here to ask us, hey, how do I do this? I'm having troubles. Okay, where are you having troubles, bro? Here. Okay, what's the move? This. All right. So if you're here, you need to do this, this, and this. If he does that, you go again, like we were talking about earlier, right? It's creating a roadmap for success. You know, it's creating a journey for you to adventure with. That's literally what it is. Just with technique.
Yeah.
And my goal is to create that in a way that is a 3-step process, bro. Just like the 3 pearls of wisdom. Boom, boom, boom. Just let's black and white it, get it done step by step. And that way, so you can take this home and drill and drill and drill and drill and drill it. Because that's the only way you're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's one thing to study. But unless you do the lab work too, you know, you got to do both. And that's what I also love is you can track your training, because I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I've been doing that with how long I've actually trained. And like
Yeah.
last week I totaled, I think it was like 12 hours of training in jiu-jitsu. So I was like, whoa, okay, that's not bad.
There
Not
you
bad in a
go.
week. Not bad in a week. So we're moving. We're
Yeah.
definitely moving a little bit, man. So
That's awesome,
yeah,
bro. Yeah. And thank you, dude. This has been such a fantastic conversation, PJ. Before we wrap up, I just want to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about this charity work you do, man. It's so cool.
Oh, dude, yeah, medicine bags. So like, because I'm Native American, right? Like
Mhm.
I make these bags that our shaman carry, right? So like back in the day, like when you'd go across, you know, the desert, you know, you had your medicine bag because one had, you know, stuff that you needed to bring with you on the journey, and then you had another piece inside that was, oh, look at that herb, and you create it, and you would restock, or you would, you know, do what you needed to do with the other side. So I just create them for charities like they're true natural Native American handmade, because I'm Native American, so they're handmade the way we make them on the reservation. So like I actually get the leather from the res. So
Mhm.
those guys, I just ask, hey, like, can I get some leather? And what's crazy either over there is it's not like cow leather. Like I actually get like deer and mountain goat
Oh wow.
and stuff that we get from the res. Like you have to
Mhm.
remember, like res life's way different than you know, normal public life.
Yeah.
So like we have like exotic stuff out there. So usually I get some like deer skin and stuff like that, and I make these bags specifically for like the charities. So it's like for people that are like, oh, you're having this, oh, I want to support the cause, you know, so I'll make a bag. You know, I just got to know at least like 6 weeks ahead that way, because it takes me a minute. It takes me a minute because I got to like cure the leather, stretch it, print it, groove it, do all that kind of stuff with it. But it's and then like I'll dye it too, because I can dye it with colors. So that's the other thing too, is I can dye leathers, I can do all that kind of fun stuff as well. But everything I try to do is usually like as natural as I can. Like even if I have to use like flower petals with alcohol to actually like pull the actual colors from the actual like plant itself to help dye the leather, I'll do that.
Yeah, dude,
So
that's so cool.
it's like truly, it's
It's so
truly, that's why I
cool.
said it takes a minute, because like 4 or 5 of the days it might spend soaking because of all the, because I have to have it completely soaked through, because if you get a piece of leather that just someone just painted on the outside and it tears on the inside, it's the color of the leather. It hasn't soaked all the way through.
Hmm.
So, when you tear it, it looks like this big weird, it could be a really nice black bag, but then it's got a big tan gash on the side of it. Well, because they just painted it, they didn't soak it all the way through the way they're supposed to. So it's a process. But again, it's one of those things that I do for mostly for charities, just to get in the door, hang out with some
Yeah,
people, and it's usually like I'll usually ask for 10% of what it is, just because it's like just to cover the materials or the
right.
gas to get there, depending on how much it is. But it's like 90% usually goes straight to the charities, because it's more so like I want to give back to whatever community I can. And usually a lot of the stuff I try to do is a jiu-jitsu community, or whatever it is that I can get into with community wise, because it's just something, especially with cancers and anything like that, that's something that I love to donate to, because I live it. I'm
Right.
involved in it. I'm a forefront person on it and in it. So that's what I do with my medicine bags. And everything's done. Nothing's ever the same. I never create the same bag ever. So it's like every bag that I make is specifically its own individual, like universal gift that no one else will ever have,
Yeah.
because I don't ever remake anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, dude. That's
But
that's
it's awesome.
so
I love it.
yeah. That's super cool, bro. And yeah, where can people find you, man? What's your IG and your gym
Uh,
too, the Warriors Garden.
So the Jim's Warrior Gardens inside UFC Gym Anaheim, and
Hmm.
it's on the Garden Walk right next to Disneyland. So like there's like a Garden Walk literally right next to Disneyland, and it's down in the basement of that one. It's down on the very bottom floor. That's where my gym's at, UFC Gym Anaheim. And then Instagram is P Judges Jiu Jitsu, P Judges underscore Jiu Jitsu. And that's or Warriors Garden Jiu Jitsu is the other one that I have. I have two of them, or medicine bags. So
Cool,
those are
cool.
the three things that I have going on. But again, man, I'm blessed. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Again, I'm just here. I'm here for it, man. Like I said, and I know we'll be seeing and talking a little bit more. But I'm just blessed to be part of the crew and part of your group. And like I said, anybody that comes to Sensei AI for this app, realize that you are going to be talking to a big brother. You are going to be talking to a father. You are going to be talking to a grandfather or sensei. That whatever it is that you're seeking for your knowledge, you're going to find there, and you're going to find it damn near to the best of the knowledge that's out there, because everybody that's involved here is truly part of the game,
Yeah,
and isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
that's right.
So,
Dude,
like I said, I'm
thank you so
blessed.
much, PJ.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, have a good one, bro. Thank you so much for listening. To check out what we're building, click the App Store link in the description. If you've got any questions or feedback on the app, leave a comment or reach out to us on socials. We would absolutely love to hear from you.